Well, I'm now joined by Times Now Strategic Affairs and Defence expert Maruf Raza from the national capital. Maruf, this is quite shocking because this has now been confirmed by the Defence Ministry, and it seems to have been a scam that has operated at multiple levels in all services for a fairly long period of time. How has it never been found out?
I think on the face of it, Arnab, this appears to be a case of a personal grievance that this officer has. But having said that, let me try and give you both sides of the story. Officially, there were rules that were put into place, particularly after independence, which allocated ex-servicemen certain benefits. Now, unfortunately, in our country, like so many other things, there are two aspects to rules that are put into place. One is that the rules that were put into place often don't apply in the context of modern times. Let me give you an example. You give privileges to war widows, such as asking them to run petrol pumps so that they get an additional source of income, so you give them a license to that. Now, there are many war widows who have no experience of running a business. So, obviously, they would adopt some kind of association or support system by which they can make a success out of business ventures like this. Alternatively, the rules that are put into place are so stringent that it is often impossible for people to implement in its entirety.
Maruf,
so what I'm saying, the law,
this is more than that.
Just hear me out.
This is more than that.
No, what I'm trying to say, now there are 3 points to the officer's grievance, as I understand, broadly speaking. One is that lots of businesses are run by proxies. 2, benefits given to retired officers.
No, Maruf, it's not a grievance. The most amazing thing about this is, this began as an allegation by one officer. But what has emerged is that in case after case after case of retired colonels and brigadiers, the rules have completely been flouted, and there are senior officials at the Director General of Resettlement who have been doing this, as a standard practice. And it's continued unchecked for a very long time.
I'm willing to go along with, and that's what I was coming to the final point. The problem is that over a period of time, lots of institutionalized mechanisms like this have been corrupted, and therefore there is a need to look at everything afresh. But having said that, please try and understand that those officers who retire from service are given benefits, but they don't come under service rules. So it is difficult for other service headquarters to impose very stringent liabilities or restrictions on them. At best, they can take the license away. So therefore, you can keep the organization clean as long as you can enforce rules. But the moment they go outside into Civvy Street and they become outside the purview of stringent restrictions, they begin to flout them. And I'm not denying that they have been in cahoots with various people who have obviously gone around the system just like everything else in our country. Let me give you an example. MPs who are associated with MPs get a certain amount of travel benefits. The Minister for Civil Aviation, the Minister for Railways has a certain number of seats that can be allocated to them to every train.
No, but this is bigger than that.
Even in media organizations.
This is bigger than that.
Please listen. Even in media organizations who have connections with the various members of civil aviation and railways, etc., often at last minute required to travel, take benefit of that. So what I'm trying to say that all is certainly not bad, but all is. To say that all is gone completely out of hand with the services.
No, there's no extremities, Maruf.
Will be a bit premature.
Maruf, the army will want to digress and avoid the issue by trying to portray it as extremities. The point is this: both the Army, Navy and the Air Force need to really look at what is clearly an unacceptable level of nepotism and corruption that has crept into the system. We'll follow the story. Maruf Raza, thank you very much.